Hello everybody, nice to see you again. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and for this particular run, I'm just going with something comfortable. I know that I have the last theme run poll going on, which was Thanatos versus Death. I am not forgetting about that, but I will definitely be coming back to it later. As of right now, the time is 2:20 p.m. I actually have work in just a couple of hours, so I'm going to be recording this, and then probably jumping in the shower and getting myself ready for my day. So the next theme run, I need to think of a better way to say this. The next themed run, there we go, will have to wait until after work. So don't worry, it's still on the docket. I just have other things to worry about. I've also been playing Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity quite a bit. That took up a good chunk of my afternoon. But anyway, enough about that. The run is kind of a very simple electric and water themed thing at the moment. Who knows what I'll find along the way though, but like I said, it's a comfortable run, so I'm focusing on my signature, which is Aqua Beam, which will be getting stronger every time I cast it, so yeah. But Dark Sage, why did you want to make it a comfortable run? Well, because there were things I just kind of wanted to talk about, so this is just kind of a nice comfortable run to play while I just get some things off my chest. We're going to be starting at the Thundering Keep, because, again, if I'm going to front-load the difficulty, might as well front-load it to the one that resists most of my work. And then, actually, after that, it'll just get easier. So, happy times. There you go. Beautiful. Genius. Alright, so that was not a great way to start. Hopefully we'll be doing better in just a bit here. Alright, so the first thing that came to my mind to talk about is how my last run of Neon Abyss went, because surely you remember some of my attempts at Neon Abyss and how iffy some of them were. The last one was almost what looked to be a perfect culmination of all of the problems I've had with Neon Abyss. Trying to show it off for people on the channel and then just getting wrecked as I've been playing. Now, I thought that it was just that, but I also remembered that my luck with that game tends to be different when I play it while not recording, just on my own time. So I tried that and still failed 2 runs. But in that being the case, I noticed some things about the game that helped explain what was going on. And I will quick let you in on what those things were. So first of all, I had made it pretty well known when I started playing yesterday that, do we have anything here I want? Not really. I think this is actually kind of a disappointing call if I do say so myself. Why are you trying to get me to change my dash? I don't want to change my dash. Crashing Meteor might be a good idea, though, because I have Spark Array to stun enemies. Then I can just drop a big fuck-off meteor on their heads. It'll also be really good for boss encounters, so I might go with that. So one of what I didn't realize is that the game has actually got harder. So I thought I was just having a glut of bad luck and the game was punishing me for all of my stupid choices. Granted, it was still doing that. But what I didn't understand is that there were some fundamental things that changed. Certain, like the speed of enemy movements had changed, enemy attack patterns had changed, and these were things that I was not aware of. I thought there was, I knew that there were quite a few changes, but I wasn't aware that there were a lot of changes made to enemy attack patterns. There were even new enemies introduced to the game that really threw me off, like those big burrowing worm enemies that... Now, I think I am going to go with Crashing Meteor, just if for no other reason than it sounds like fun. If I end up not using it later, oh well. Here we go. And on to the next floor. So there were enemies that I remember them dropping bullets onto the ground, and the bullets split to the left and right. Well, some of those enemies now have additional bullets that go diagonally up into the left and right along with the other bullets. And things are just faster in the game in general, which, again, I want to stress, I have no problem with that, but I was not ready for it. So I was not ready for the game to be that much harder than I remember. So it's going to take a little bit of practice to get back to where I was with Neon Abyss, because I was one win away from unlocking the Abyssal difficulty. Now I'm like 4 or 5 wins away because the game is just kicking my ass. I think, real honestly, relearning the game is going to be good for me, and I did find some things that I think are a big help. Like, for one, a lot of those beam weapons that basically did no damage before, those weapons have been rebalanced and retooled to actually be worth a damn. There's a lot of things in the game now that have visual cues that didn't have visual cues before. So overall, I think the change is positive. I just need to, relearn how to play the game. Understand now that the challenge rooms are really only something, instead of it just being a free item every time you go into there, the challenge rooms can kind of kick your ass now, so you should really only go into those when you're good and ready. That's one thing that I learned. So, Neon Abyss, ultimately it's now a much better game than it was before, but it's also a much harder game. Oops. Everything else I'm looking for is to the south. But I want a quick hit of this combat room first, just because it is going to be worth the additional money. Nice, critical. There we go. Alright. God, I hate that room. Electric Ferry! Yes, we'll definitely take Electric Ferry. Because remember, I have the merchant's card, so the fairies, on top of just being really good girls, are also going to help me build up my merchant's cart. So, here's a question. Why are you making it so that everything is not helpful? Why aren't you selling me upgrades to any of my stuff? And don't get me wrong, I'm not in severe need of those specific upgrades, but I mean, seriously. There we go. Now, Fading Petal is one of those moves that I don't know how I feel about it. But it has a very similar use case to Aqua Vortex, but it only attacks from one side. I don't know, I kind of want to try it out, but I'm not doing it with this build. By the way, it's not Sierra Mist this time, it's Lemon Lime Sparkling Ice. What the hell? I am kind of enjoying comboing into Crashing Meteor. There's something very satisfying about that. And of course, as I get stronger and stronger, that Meteor will be doing more and more damage, so happy day for me, oh yeah! Also good against foes that don't move too much. Oops. Beautiful. Alright. Loving that outcome. I like it, but I want to stick with Bolt Rail. Mostly because Bolt Rail is going to be more effective against Freya, whereas Fiery Yo-Yo won't be effective against either of my foes. I guess that means it'll be more effective against Zeal as well. Create a bottleneck here, which did me no good. Oh my god, I hate these roly-poly guys. You guys can piss off. Yeah, that's what you guys get. So, if watching me play Neon Abyss felt demoralizing for those of you who are interested in trying it out, don't let it discourage you. They actually made the game harder, which is a good thing because the game was too easy before. So I feel very comfortable in saying that I think these changes are for the better. I'm gonna wait and see what Iris has to sell. To be fair, I don't think that having the graduation cap is gonna help all that much. Okay, I saw exactly what the problem was there, but I couldn't course correct in time. An oopsie on my behalf. Oopsie poopsie doopsie. There we go. Owie. Alright, this is not going well, not gonna lie. And the idea that I'm still... Why are you offering me Fading Petal again? I already turned it down once. It is really weird that I'm not getting anything of substance right now. What seed did I re-roll into by choosing to start where I did? I think, oh my goodness, I feel like I punked myself. Well, hopefully other things work out a little bit better. I think I am going to... Really? Oh, hello. Yes, Crimson Clover I think is a good thing, and now I'm kind of thinking I want to get the Analytical Monocle instead. Also, where's the boss room? Oh, it's way down there. Wow, how did I manage to miss that? By rambling. Oh yeah. Speaking of rambling, who's ready to talk about one of the greatest disappointments from last year? I mean, aside from everything. I think the time has come. I've kind of been on and off about it, but I think it's... Oh, hold on, I saw the jewelry box there. I wrote off the graduation cap, but god damn it, I could actually use that right now. Oh well. There we go. So, bit of an oopsie there. Now looking back on it, it would have been better to grab the jewelry box, but that is a mistake that is going to be on me, no one else. Hopefully it doesn't cost me the run. But no, when I'm talking about one of 2020's greatest mistakes, I am of course talking about Cyberpunk 2077. The game that was so overhyped that if someone had told you, hey, did you know Cyberpunk 2077 could cure cancer? Someone would probably be like, yeah, didn't they advertise that, didn't they? But I mean, it wasn't just CD Projekt Red that overhyped the crap out of that game. It was literally everybody. Everyone was super hyped for Cyberpunk. Like, to the point where even logical sense was being thrown out the window for, oh my god, Cyberpunk! And came out, and it's just a buggy, rushed AAA release like everything else. And here's the thing, I have no doubt that Cyberpunk probably can still be a good game. But they're gonna need to do a lot of work with that game. They're also gonna need to work to fix their PR, because boy howdy did they screw themselves with that one. CD Projekt Red, in trying to be a friend to all gamers, like the AAA publisher Gamera. God, I suck. Oh, the first upgrade I get to my current Arcana. Jesus, come on, what the hell? I like the idea of either one of those, but I also want to wait, because there's a possibility I'm going to need to buy a healing potion. As embarrassing as that is, because this run is good enough where I shouldn't have needed to worry about that so early. Well, at least I found the boss chamber. Hold on a sec. There we go. That's gonna help me out with some money issues. Now, if only I could do that in real life. So, like I said, in trying to be friend to all gamers, CD Projekt Gamera decided that they were going to release a statement saying, "No, we're not going to crunch our developers to make this game. We're going to be doing this the right way." So how did that end up working out? Yeah, they crunched their developers. Big shock, who would have figured? But once you become so big that you start publicly trading stocks and you have shareholders to worry about, at that point it's like, man, who needs ethics? We just need to please our shareholders. I mean, basically, because they became one of, if not the biggest game developer / publisher in Europe, that came with it a pressure to succeed that, I mean, to be fair, I don't envy the position that they're in. After the wild success of The Witcher 3, one would be forgiven for thinking that they could do no wrong, and especially with things like the success of GOG. Oh, what do I want? Do I want Sidewinder's Badge or Water Cushion? I think Sidewinder's Badge is the better option. God, I hate rogues so much. Okay, well, that's not really going to help, so maybe somewhere along the lines I can sell it or trade it for something better. Who knows, but yeah, I'm in the position now where I need to buy a health potion. I don't like that, but I am not playing particularly well. So I gotta supplement where I can. Sorry, guys. Also doesn't help that a certain someone doesn't want to help me upgrade my Arcana. I mean, I'm as warmed up as I'm gonna be, considering that Iris is being racist. That was a whiff on my behalf. Also, considering how crazy people are about social topics like that, no, I don't think you can actually be racist in case anyone actually thinks that I'm mad about that. I'm not. That's called a joke. There was a time in our history where one could do things like make jokes. And maybe, unfortunately, for the time I live in, I still live in that time where it was okay to make jokes, so shut up. So it honestly surprised me when Cyberpunk 2077 came out, and wow, like what happened? I mean, I know exactly what happened, but I mean, it's more of a facetious, wow, you guys really screwed up, like super bad. And what it boils down to is because of what happens to a company when they go from being small time to successful. What I'm imagining is that nothing happened as far as the developer is on the developer end. The hell? How did you get behind me? Again, I know the answer to that question. Being facetious, but damn, that was fast movement. Hey, congratulations! I hate you. I'm really just picking up the Emerald Key so we can max out the Merchant's Cart. And with the Merchant's Cart maxed out, we can now focus on other things. Like, how the hell am I still this far along and haven't managed to upgrade my standard? Ow. So, don't get me wrong, I don't hate Cyberpunk. Like, the fact of the matter is, I was really looking forward to that game because it looked like there were a lot of features to it that were going to be interesting. And even if not, you know what? Another big open-world RPG, even if it is... Like, I'm not the biggest fan of like, just straight-up gunplay games, which is very much what that looked like it was going to be, and pretty much is. The horse-headed one has returned! But, I mean, like I said, there were so many things that looked really interesting about the game, and frankly still do. It's not like the game itself is absolute trash. It's what they chose to do with it that irks me. Like, there's no reason for the game to have been released in the state that it was in. And you know why it was released in the state that it's in. Now, I'm no expert. I'm kind of an expert. But I don't have the insider track, but I bet I can explain it. You see, when CD Projekt Red suddenly became the bee's knees when it came to when it came to European developers, they probably had some new management who wanted to come in and capitalize off of those big gains. And when that happened, some things probably had to be sacrificed along the way. Integrity. And that means that a lot of things that were promised had to be sacrificed in order to try to make good with the shareholders. Development crunch promises. So, I mean, that's just my take on it. I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong about all of this, but the pattern has played itself out enough times in the past. We've seen this before, and I would not be surprised if... Ow. Bitch. I would not be surprised if the answers were somewhere in there. Do I have any reason to pick up the permafrost cube? Not really. No, stick with what we got. I would like a 6th Arcana to use. But do I want it to be Searing Crown? I'm gonna wait. I just don't really care for it to be Magnetic Breakers, though. I mean, fuzzy hand warmers are a nice little status effect and protection. There we go. Looking sharp. So even though what happened with the whole Cyberpunk thing is disappointing and upsetting, I think I see the thread. It doesn't make it acceptable, but I see what happened. CD Projekt Red has fallen victim to the big developer publisher problem. And I get the feeling that because they now need to be more worried about their shareholders than they used to, it's very possible that the CD Projekt Red of old is pretty much gone now. I see 2 things there that I want. I see 3 things there that I want. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on Tidal Blast and Spark Array, though. Those are the things that I think would be really helpful. Because let's face it, with the sort of development history that Cyberpunk has, the smarter idea would have been, thank you, to wait on it, to delay the game further. I know they said, oh, but if we do that, there would be a rising throng of gamers wondering where the hell their Cyberpunk is. Most of us are perfectly fine with waiting. In the immortal words of Shigeru Miyamoto, a delayed game will eventually be good, but a rushed game is bad forever. Let's take that into account and think about some of the other games that have been pushed out early that no one has any interest in anymore. What about Anthem? How many people are still chomping at the bit to play Anthem? I wager to say not many, and I would further go on to say you're probably right. What about Evolve? Anyone still crazy about Evolve in their multiple pages of DLC on day one, even though the game itself was uninteresting and uninspired. Like, the most interesting thing about Evolve was the asymmetrical multiplayer, but they didn't refine it enough for it to be a really interesting, compelling experience. But oh boy, did they want to charge you out the nose for all of the cosmetics and items in the game. So, thank you Turtle Rock Studios for once again failing to live up to the good name that you had with Left 4 Dead. Or what about Assassin's Creed Unity? Is anyone hailing that game as a major success right about now? Because I have to imagine that's another game where everyone's like, yeah, this is a mistake. I just think rushed games are games. Sorry, I combined words there. I apologize. Let me start again. Rushed games are only good for the publisher's short-term gains. They are not good for actual gamers. They're not good for consumers. I want my title blast. They are not good for anyone outside of the greedy management and executives. And why? It's not because they have an everlasting product that's going to continue to shower them with positive results via goodwill and praise. No, it's because they have their little cash cow that they can rely on. And actually, that would be more the result of goodwill. Owie. By the way, in case you're wondering how I managed to essentially how I managed to get my ass kicked there, that was because of getting stuck on level geometry. So, oops. But once again, I still wholeheartedly say that I'm just making bad mistakes. I'm not blaming my controller, I'm not blaming the game, I'm just making bad mistakes. But, as for how I managed to essentially get through her ice spheres without moving, both Spark Array and Aqua Beam are arcana that can nullify projectiles. So I was using that to its fullest potential there. Oh, that was a bad idea. I made the fart noise and the birds got freaked out. I mean, I shouldn't be laughing about that, but... Come on, guys, calm down. This is just what I be doing, yo. Alright, and that's no longer useful. But we'll take the Megalodon tooth. Alright, let's go. Maybe my birds are just scared of farts. Owie. Owie. Bam! Oh yeah. So ultimately, what would have been best for both CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk would have been to delay the release of the game until they knew they had a product that worked properly. Because there were so many of us that were interested in the game, but there were warning signs. There were warning signs that Cyberpunk wasn't going to be everything that they said it was going to be. I think the biggest warning sign is when they went onto the Game Awards and revealed that they had Keanu Reeves doing the role of Johnny Silverhand. It's like, why are you paying all this money for a big name actor to do a character in your game? And the obvious two answers are, one, for publicity, and two, because you feel you have money to throw around. Because at this point, what you're doing isn't necessarily what one would call impressive. And don't get me wrong, I love Keanu Reeves, but what they were doing was they were throwing money at the screen. That's what they were doing. They were essentially because here's the thing, if they had never announced that, if they had just delayed the release of the game and just came onto the Game Awards and said, oh my god, this game's gonna be so awesome, you guys, check this out, it's gonna be so great, it's gonna be so awesome, but it's big, so we gotta push it back. That's what they should have done. And then later, when it came out that Keanu Reeves was in the game as Johnny Silverhand, when people just found out, that would have been amazing. That would have been a huge little thing, just a bonus for all of us. But instead, they were going, look, here's Keanu Reeves. We all love Keanu Reeves. He's amazing. He was John Wick. He's Neo. We all love Keanu Reeves. Don't look over here at this. No, look at Keanu Reeves. We have Keanu Reeves. What was that? A character model not loading properly? Oh, no. That's you're seeing things. You're seeing things. Don't worry about that. So on top of that, on top of the marketing deception and the lies, yeah, it's very easy to see what happened, and yeah, CD Projekt Red should be ashamed of themselves for chasing money and short-term gains instead of making Cyberpunk 2077 the awesome thing they said it could be. Like, I'm not usually... Okay, I am. I'm definitely the sort of person that looks into, like, the inner office drama of what's happening with the studios, and yeah, it's sad, because CD Projekt Red was... We all know the meme. You were the chosen one! You were supposed to save them, not join... You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them! Anyway, that's enough for me. I think I've rambled on long enough. Hopefully you guys get the idea, but thank you guys very much for watching. I very much enjoyed just this fun run. Next Wizard of Legend episode will be the themed run for the death poll, and I will have to check up on that because it's now a couple of weeks old. It's what mental breakdowns do to you. And I'll just have to see which one is coming up next. So don't worry, that's coming. Thank you for listening to me ramble and rant about things. It really is a great place for me to come and just share my thoughts and really get things out in the open. But again, I'm rambling on at the end. I apologize. You guys have your own free time that you're spending watching me. As much as I appreciate it, I also need to respect it and actually end the video now. So again, thank you guys very much, and I'll be back in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I'm going to go take a shower now.